Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Boomsy Bay Beauty. My name is Juliana. If you've not been here before, you're highly welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. Today's video is about the look I have on my eyes right here, and I mainly use 3 palettes for this look. So if using multiple palettes is your thing, then you would enjoy this video. So I use the Beauty Bay Sunset Horizons palette, as well as the Viseart Cool Mattes 2 palette and the Coy palette, just for the inner corner highlight. So if you wanted to see how I achieve this look, then keep on watching. On my lips is Mcgrath Bliss Trans lipstick in Emmanuell, which I recently did a video swatching 5 of the lipstick I bought. So if you want to see what those shades look like on my skin tone, then go ahead and watch the lip swatching video. Alright, let's get into this look. So from the Sunset Horizon palette, I'm going to use these 2 shimmers and this blue one, and I'm going to touch a little bit on this. So I'm going to just quickly swatch the shimmers in this palette I'm going to use for you. So that's what the blue one looks like. The main one I'm going to use is that. I'm going to use that to darken my outer corner. So those are the shimmers I'm going to use. From the Viseart Cool Mattes palette, I'm mainly going to use 4 shades. So this quad over here, this 4 shades is what I'm going to use. And I'm going to start with this palette. I have already primed my eyes. I use the Peel Away primer. And now I'm going to start with the darkest shade in the Cool Mattes palette. So laying that all over my lid. It's going to be the main color all over my lid. So today I actually want to talk about something. I recently started watching Scandal all over again. I don't know if you have seen Scandal. If you haven't, Google it just to see what it's all about. So Scandal, I'll just give you a brief introduction. Scandal is about a TV show mainly based on the story of an elected president with his campaign manager, who is a lady, Olivia Pope. So I want to talk about forbidden love, really, and what I mean is somebody actually married falling in love with somebody else while they are still being married. You know how appropriate it is. I mean, I know this is make-believe. Scandal is a TV show. So I'm going into the bluish shade in the Cool Matte palette, just to kind of blend out the darkest shade I first laid down. So I'm putting that on my upper lid. Fits the president that is competing for presidency. He was losing, so they brought in a campaign manager, Olivia Pope. Going into a smaller brush, a pencil brush, I'm going to use that to apply the shade onto my outer corner, so that it's neat and it's not all over the place. So they brought in Olivia Pope to help him with his campaign. And the minute he sets eyes on Olivia Pope, he more or less fell in love. And, you know, he wanted to sack her right there and then, you know, saying, you know, he doesn't want her. Well, at that moment in time, we didn't realize why he wanted to sack her. It was only as Olivia Pope was trying to state a case that she realized that he had an attraction for her. And it begs the question, the kind of question for me, you know, the validity of marriage. You know, how can you be married and set eyes on someone and immediately you fall in love, or immediately you get that attracted that you don't trust yourself and you want to sack her immediately? But I suppose they've been having problem. Him and his wife have been having problems, so basically they are not really happily married. So for my inner corner, I'm going to use the lighter blue shade. So I'm going to look for a fluffy brush, and I'm going into that lighter blue shade, and I'm going to put that in my inner corner. Just laying that down right there, because I don't want black in the inner corner. And I'm also going to use it to kind of blend out the edges of the blackish gray shade. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm taking it higher as well because I've got hooded eyes. So if I close my eyes, you won't see it. So I have to take my shadows, you know, higher up. Okay, back into my story. So they kind of had an attraction, you know, first sight, the two of them, and they tried to fight it but they couldn't. Eventually, you know, they got together, and they were together more or less during all the campaign. So their affair went on and on. Even after he was elected, they were still having an affair, you know, and he was still married, you know, to the first lady. This is fiction, but it does happen in real life too. In real life, you have, you know, Angelina Jolie and then Brad Pitt, you know, falling in love from acting together, him leaving his wife, you know, it's all over. Is it that easy to kind of like fall in love with people? Is it easy to be attracted to people, or is there an underlying problem, you know, already in their marriage? I think I like the way the matte is now, so I'm just going to lay down my shimmer. And before I do that, I'm going to use a glitter kind of base. So I'm using the BH Cosmetics base booster, it's called. So scooping that on the back of my hand. So I'm first going into the blue, and I'm going to put that on my lower lid. Another show I find fascinating is the Twilight Saga. I don't know if you've seen that. It's where Edward, who is a vampire, falls in love with a human, Bella. I really love that show. I know it's not real, but I don't know, for whatever reason, I find the idea of forbidden love fascinating. It's one thing this being shows, but when it comes to real life, that's where I draw the line. I mean, it's fine on a fantasy basis. I still read Mills and Boon. I've been reading Mills and Boon for 30 years. I know it's not real, you know. There are many things that goes in there. There's many stories in the Mills and Boon that can never be real. But that fantasy world, you know, of nice, sweet, romantic relationships just is fascinating to me. But you sort of think, how much of that fantasy is actually real life? I mean, I've never experienced forbidden love, but I do wonder if people do actually experience, you know, fall in love with people they are not meant to, you know, and how it's being managed. My whole lid, I'm going in with this shimmer. That shimmer is called Coconut. That's what it looks like. And I'm also going to spray it. So I'm going to use that all over my lid, really. From the inner corner, everywhere really. Apart from my outer corner. And look at me using cool tones. I hate cool tones. I am also going in with my finger and then just making sure that that shimmer is laid down and is also blended all over my lid. Going back into the blue on the Cool Mattes, I'm going to use that to blend the front part of my eyes, just so it doesn't look like I've been punched in the face. Going back into the darkest shade I started with from the Cool Matte, I'm now going to blend my shimmer into the matte. So literally just stamping it in on top of the shimmer. Alright, I'm now going to use Stargazing, which is like a purplish black shimmer. I am going to use that on the outer edge just to blend between that darker matte and my shimmer. And I'm also going to go into a little bit of the black shade here, and I'm going to use that on my outer edge just to intensify that shade so that I have a bit of a dimension, like a darker dimension. I'm going to put that on my lower lid as well. Alright, because there are no lighter shimmer shade for my inner corner on both of these palettes, I'm going to go into my Coy palette. This is my Viseart Coy palette, and I'm going to go into that shade to lighten my outer corner. I'm putting that right in the inner part of my eyes just to give it a bit of light. Look, because my look is very dark, so I need something that will bring light into my eye, and this is what I'm doing. And I'm also going to take it just a little bit above my eye, just taking it slightly higher on my crease here to give it a bit of light. So going into this blue shade, I'm just going to blend the shimmer into the matte. I don't like too much shimmer showing on my inner corner, so I'm using a matte to just blend it in. So guys, tell me, have you ever been in a forbidden relationship before? Let me know in the comment box. I want to know about your experiences, you know. So easy to judge people, you know, that are in these situations if you've never been in one. I would just like to know other people's circumstances, how it happened. Has it ever happened to you before? You know, what did you do? Let me know in the comments. Okay, I think I'm happy with the blend and how it looks. So I'm going to apply my liner and my lashes and I'll be back. So lashes are on, liner on. I also put the Colourpop Catsuit liner on my waterline, just to make the eyes pop extra, because the main lid is very dark. You need a bit of light to bring out the look without closing off your eyes. So finishing off on the story that we were talking about, what got me thinking and why I wanted to talk about this the most was because the show actually sold me on the president going with Olivia Pope rather than being with his wife, which is so wrong on all levels. But the way they portrayed the attraction between them, it just makes you yearn to want something like that, even though you know it's really wrong. You know, I really wanted Fitz to end up with Olivia, because when they are together, it's like sparks are flying. I know Melly has her own issues. Melly has a lot of issues, you know, which I'm sure some of us can relate with, some of us cannot relate with. You know, it's just what it is. But it's just the way the show sells you in believing that the guy should end up with the wrong woman. You know, I don't know what to think. But for me, I really wanted Fizz to end up with Olivia. You know, it kind of felt wrong to me, and that's why I wanted to talk about it today. You know, forbidden love, forbidden attraction. Is it that common? Is it a fiction? You know, have you been in it? Have you experienced it? It will just be interesting to see what people think. It'll be interesting to see if people actually went through this, or people are going through it, you know, or you know, whatever it is that you think. Let me know in the in the comment section. So the last thing to do now is to just set this all in place with a setting spray, and I'm using the Hourglass Soft Focus setting spray. So spraying down. Make sure you shake it well as well, because it does leave a bit of stain if you don't shake it. Okay guys, that is it. So my thoughts on this palette. I've used this about 3 times now. I absolutely love it. Sunset on Risings, and I got it at half price as well, which is even better, honestly. Every shade I've used so far has been totally amazing. I've used the reds now, I've used the oranges, I've used the blues here, I've used all the shades on the bottom row. Is a totally amazing palette. Beauty Bay have really brought their game on in 2020. Also on the Viseart Cool Mattes, my first time of ever using a cool tone palette. I absolutely love it. Again, I've used this twice now. I've dabbled into that side and all of the blues, and I totally love this palette. I like Viseart because, one, it doesn't give me fallout, because I've done my makeup first, so for me that's always a yes. But cool tones, I don't know why I was ever scared of cool tones. I love this palette. It's absolutely beautiful. I like the fact that on the eyes it even comes up better than it looks in the pan. I mean, look at the shade I used. I used that shade. That's my main shade today, and it just looks totally amazing on my eyes. I love it. I also have a ranking video on all of my, well, almost all of my Viseart palette, because since I did that video I bought 2 new Viseart palette, no, actually 3 new Viseart palettes. So I don't know, but anyway, go and have a look at the ranking video so you can see what I think about each and every one of the palettes I ranked. Viseart is an amazing brand when it comes to eyeshadow, especially their mattes. I cannot say it enough. So if you're looking for a good brand for matte, Viseart is one to look out for. So I hope you've enjoyed this video today and listened to me rambling on about my fantasies and all my make-believe world. But you know, that's just what I think. I'm enjoying watching Scandal all over again. I'm currently on series 3. I can't wait to finish it again. This will be probably my 2nd or 3rd time of watching it from the beginning to the end again. It's just such an amazing show. So I hope you've enjoyed this video today, and thank you for hanging out with me, and until next time, I'll see you. Bye.